When you think of Nikola Jokić, NBA superstar, two-time MVP, NBA champion, you picture the stoic, almost deadpan Serbian center who lets his game do the talking. But on Sunday, at the Hippodrome in his hometown of Sombor, Serbia, Jokić revealed a side rarely seen, the unfiltered, emotional horse lover whose tears flowed as freely as the champagne he showered on everyone in sight, had a victory of heart and hooves. Jokić arrived at the track alongside his trainer and a small entourage, more excited than he's been since sinking that title-clinching jumper in Game 5 of the 2023 NBA Finals. On this day, though, the stakes weren't basketballs or hardwood. They were hooves and furlongs. His prized thoroughbred, Aurora's Dream, broke cleanly from the gate and surged ahead, pulling away by 2 lengths to win the 1,600-meter race. As the field thundered past, Jokic's composure shattered. He buried his face in his hands, tears streaming down his cheeks. Seconds later, fueled by pure elation, he vaulted over the rail and sprinted onto the track, still wiping away tears, to embrace his jockey, Alexa Petrovic, and lavish praise on the horse that had captured his heart. Open quote, "This means everything," Jokić told Arena Sport TV through tears. "I love this animal. To see her do this after all the training, I couldn't be prouder." Close quote. From stoic champion to ecstatic owner. Contrast that display with Jokic's famously reserved reaction following Denver's first NBA title in 2023, when he told reporters simply, "It's good. The job is done. We can go home now." The understated shrug became a meme across social media. Fans poked fun at the notion that the world's most dominant basketball player could remain so unflappable. But Sunday was different. When he popped the cork on a magnum of Dom Perignon, his joy was contagious. He hosed down Petrovic, his sister, Dara Jokić, and the stable hands who had cared for Aurora's Dream through months of conditioning. Then, almost ritualistically, he saved the final splash for himself, raising his arms as the champagne rained down. "I promised myself I'd celebrate if she could bring home the win," he laughed afterward, wiping bubbly from his mustache. A lifelong passion takes center stage. For as dominant as he is on the basketball court, horses have long been Jokic's true passion. He grew up riding and caring for equines in Serbia, and even as his basketball career skyrocketed, he never abandoned the stables. In interviews, he often speaks of the peace he finds among the paddocks, an escape from the grind of an 82-game season and the playoff wars. Open quote, "When I'm with the horses, I'm just Nikola from Sombor," he once told GQ Serbia. "No MVPs, no all-stars, just me and them." Close quote. Sunday's triumph was more than a race. It was a homecoming. Aurora's Dream, a 4-year-old mare he purchased at auction last year, had shown promise, but hadn't quite broken through. Jokić invested in elite trainers, improved her nutrition, and spent countless early morning rides on the track. Open quote. "Sometimes you have to bet on your dreams," he said, stroking the mare's neck after the presentation. Close quote. Why this moment resonates in an era when athletes are endlessly scrutinized on social media, Jokic's tears remind us that true passion transcends sport. Yes, he's a basketball giant, already a Hall of Fame lock, but on Sunday, he was simply a proud owner, a devoted caretaker, and a man who dared to show his emotion. As Jokić climbs back onto his motorcycle and prepares to rejoin the Nuggets training camp in Colorado, the story of Aurora's Dream will follow him across the Atlantic. And next time he faces the cameras after an NBA victory, remember, behind that inscrutable smile lives a heart that beats as wildly for horses as it does for basketball glory. And if you catch him at a track in Sombor next spring, don't expect that stoic mask. Expect tears of joy and perhaps an overflowing champagne bottle, just in case. Nikola Jokić isn't just the NBA's most unflappable superstar. He's a devoted horse owner whose passion for the track rivals his love of basketball. That was on full display Sunday in Serbia, where the Denver Nuggets center couldn't hold back tears of joy after one of his horses crossed the finish line first. Broadcast partner Arena Sport TV captured every emotional moment, and the Nuggets shared the footage, revealing a side of Jokić we rarely see on the hardwood. As the announcer called the race in Belgrade, Jokic's face crumpled with relief and pride. He buried his head in his hands, tears welling up as the realization set in. His horse, fueled by countless hours of training, had won. Without hesitation, Jokić vaulted over the safety barrier and made his way onto the track, still in tears, where he embraced both his horse and its driver. The hug looked like a championship celebration in miniature. Arms wide, genuine laughter and emotion pouring out in equal measure. And from there, the party truly began. Once inside the winner's circle, Jokić was handed a magnum of champagne. With a practiced flick, he popped the cork and sent sparkling streams arcing through the air, first onto his team members, then onto the horse itself, and finally, onto himself. Every spray seemed to wash away the stoic reserve he's famous for, illuminating the sheer delight he felt in that moment. It's a stark contrast to the way Jokić handled Denver's 2023 NBA title. "It's good," he told ESPN amid the confetti. "The job is done. We can go home now." That measured response became fodder for jokes about his supposed lack of emotion, but those quips never rang true to anyone who knows just how much Jokić cares about the game, or about the things he loves. In the Nuggets locker room, he eventually let loose, dancing on tables and sharing champagne with teammates. At Denver's parade, he and Jamal Murray drenched the crowd with bubbly, proof that victory does get him fired up, just perhaps not in the way you'd expect. Still, it's clear his bond with his horses cuts deeper. He breeds and trains them with the same quiet dedication he applies to perfecting his step-back jumper and no-look passes. Horse racing in Serbia is a fiercely competitive sport, and to see Jokić overcome language barriers, time zones, and the pressure of millions of fans watching on screens worldwide makes the triumph all the sweeter. When he finally rode back through the winner's circle, clutching his champagne bottle, confetti swirling around him, fans saw the man behind the MVP awards, a genuine sportsman who feels every victory as deeply as he feels every loss. In that moment, face streaked with tears, laughter echoing across the track, Nikola Jokić reminded us that even the most composed champions have passions that bring them to their knees and make them the happiest they've ever been. When you think of Nikola Jokić, NBA superstar, two-time MVP, NBA champion, you picture the stoic, almost deadpan Serbian center who lets his game do the talking. But on Sunday, at the Hippodrome in his hometown of Sombor, Serbia, Jokić revealed a side rarely seen, the unfiltered, emotional horse lover whose tears flowed as freely as the champagne he showered on everyone in sight, had a victory of heart and hooves. Jokić arrived at the track alongside his trainer and a small entourage, more excited than he's been since sinking that title-clinching jumper in Game 5 of the 2023 NBA Finals. On this day, though, the stakes weren't basketballs or hardwood. They were hooves and furlongs. His prized thoroughbred, Aurora's Dream, broke cleanly from the gate and surged ahead, pulling away by 2 lengths to win the 1,600-meter race. As the field thundered past, Jokic's composure shattered. He buried his face in his hands, tears streaming down his cheeks. Seconds later, fueled by pure elation, he vaulted over the rail and sprinted onto the track, still wiping away tears, to embrace his